Oh, I was going to say, do you think, you have to actually guess, do you think that in like 20, 30 years from now, we'll be looking back at this time where, do you think we'll be saying, remember when we let boys beat up girls in sports and we said there were 52 genders? Boy, that was a weird phase. Or do you think we'll just actually continue on down that trail? And the idea, because it flies in the face of biology and science.
Yeah.
Do you think there'll be a correction on that?
I think in 20 years they'll be like, it's so crazy how that world ended 8 years ago.
I can't believe we're all still
look,
here.
a roach.
They're still around.
I'm eating Twinkies.
I am hopeful, but I think we're at kind of a tipping point with that. It's going to go one way or the other where it will either correct back or we're just going to continue on. And I think we're kind of at that point where if people can tie that kind of a social, kind of cultural fabric to Donald Trump and an outmoded conservatism, if they can do that effectively, hating against those, then yes, they can keep that and the trajectory will continue. But if we can have some people come in and espouse conservative values and not get tarred and feathered by
They
being
will be tarred and
a
feathered.
bigot, well, for being a bigot, right?
Yeah, but I don't think Donald Trump was a bigot.
I don't think so either. But he made it easy for them. Like
I don't think
you
he's a bigot. I think it
easy.
needs to be someone who can explain his position.
Yes.
In other words,
also,
I think that almost all of Donald Trump's positions were reasonable. He just didn't explain them in a reasonable way.
Right, exactly. So he made it easy for them by not being clear and sometimes going on a Twitter tirade, right? So if somebody can come in and not do that,
I'm thinking of running for office. I never thought about running for office. I have thought about it. Honestly.
What would you run for? Is
that
premature?
Maybe governor of Michigan.
Ooh,
I'm down. You should.
Or maybe mayor
politically.
Or maybe mayor of some town in Michigan.
Okay.
Someplace I could actually make a difference. And here's what I would just listen. Release the Vox attack video. Be like the 8 Mile rabbit. Tell them something they don't know about me. But the only reason I would do it is because what I am most afraid of. We can leave on this unless you have a chat that you think we need to hit. What I am most afraid of going forward with someone like Donald Trump, and I know Donald Trump is an egotist, and I know that Donald Trump was in it for his own self-interest to some capacity, but he also stood a lot to lose. Right?
Yeah.
He came from the private sector. He was an outsider, and that was a huge component to the vitriolic hatred that he experienced.
Yeah.
And I am afraid that because of Donald Trump being held, his scalp being, hung up there, basically, not only Donald Trump, but they want to crucify anyone who supported Donald Trump, like the slave revolt in Spartacus along the road, just to let you know what happens if you support an outsider. I am so concerned now, especially in the era of social media, where everyone has stuff out there that can be used against them, that people, good people, who actually want to change the country for good will be afraid to run because they know their lives will be destroyed, their reputation will be destroyed, their families will be dragged through the mud because of the elite political system, the ruling class in Washington, D.C. And so the only people who will continue to live in that swamp are the direct beneficiaries of nepotism or being given a free path so long as they play along to get along. And so the only reason I would ever consider, and this is why I am actually considering running, is because I have nothing to lose. I've made a lot of mistakes. My flaws are open for everyone to see, on full display. And you know what? I don't want people to feel like there is the government who rules over them. The government is meant to be ruled by people who represent you. It's meant to be ruled by people like you. And I don't just mean Ivy League educated Harvard grads and lawyers and think tank elites. I mean small business owners. I mean people out there who maybe you run a construction company. I want all of those folks out there to feel as though they can represent their constituents without fear of having their life being destroyed. And that is what I am most worried about with the fallout and the public crucifixion of anyone, including a lot of good Americans who love their country and supporting Donald Trump. And that's the only reason I have ever or would ever consider running for an office where I felt I could make a quantifiable difference. And I'd have to give all of this up. But you guys let me know what you think. It's not something that's on the near horizon, but it's something that's been percolating.
Watch Good Morning Mug Club live every Monday through Thursday at 10:15 Eastern.